Has your phone ever died when you had to make the most important call of your life? Or missed the bus by a nanosecond and watched it accelerate in a cloud of smoke and apathy? Frustration is not just an annoying houseguest. It's more like that stubborn cousin that overstays its welcome and seems to be permanently settling down. We've all been there, caught in this vortex of boredom. But just slapping on a band-aid isn't enough. It's time to deal with this problem and say goodbye to frustration once and for all. Today we go through 7 Stoic strategies to not only deal with anger, but eliminate it from your life for good. Whether you are new to these concepts or already exploring the depths of Stoic wisdom, I invite you to join me in my quest for spiritual resilience. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to boost your mental strength and navigate the chaotic sea of everyday life like an unshakable rock. Now, let's dive into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and explore how these principles can transform our relationship with anger and frustration. Now, grab and go. Focus on what you can control. Real problems do not trouble people so much as the worries they invent about real problems, said Epictetus. First, let's talk about control, or more specifically, the illusion of it. You can't change the late traffic or the weather that ruins lunch. You can control how you feel and what you think about it. It's not magic fairy dust that will change your life. It's a change in your thinking. For example, suppose you are late for the bus. You can punch the air and throw hard, or take a deep breath, relax, listen to a podcast, or just look up and enjoy the sky. The bus has already left and no amount of anger will bring it back. In today's fast-paced world, everyone wants to do, be, and achieve more. We are constantly told that our value depends on how much we achieve. But life is not a list that never ends. It is a collection of planned and unplanned moments that together make up the tapestry of our lives. So the next time something isn't going your way, stop and ask yourself, can I change this? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and let it go. If so, do something about it. There's no point worrying about missing a bus when you could find another way to get there. This first Stoic concept can make you feel free. It's like deleting all the apps on your phone that you never use. You didn't know how much space they took up until they were gone. When you let go of the things you can't control, you have more room in your life for what really matters. Imagine a world where everyone just followed this rule. There would be no more road rage, no more in the grocery store line, no more PC warriors losing their temper over a tweet. It's a world worth working for. So take the first step and focus on what you can change. Zoom out for a larger and higher view. Don't try to do everything your way. Instead of wanting everything to happen as it actually does. Epictetus, you know how in movies the camera zooms out so you can see everything from a bird's eye view. It is easy to forget that our own world is only a small part of the whole universe. Sometimes we need a bird's eye view to put things into perspective and see that the problems we face are small in the big picture. Frustrated that your Wi-Fi isn't working? Imagine seeing it from space, where even the biggest cities look like specks on Earth. Pretty small, right? This shift in perspective can cut through anger like a hot knife through butter. Not saying your problems aren't important. I mean, sometimes we give them power over us by making them bigger in our minds. We make mountains out of anthills and then wonder why they are so hard to climb. Practicing a top-down view is not a way to escape problems. You can't just ignore a flat tire or a busy schedule. But if you change your attitude towards them and think about how important they are in the bigger picture of life, it will be easier to deal with them. How does it work? Because taking a step back makes your problems seem smaller and makes you appreciate what you have more. If you are healthy, have a roof over your head, and people who care about you, aren't those things more important than a slight change in your plans? This Stoic exercise is not just mental gymnastics. It's about reconnecting with what matters. And when you look at the picture as a whole, the cells that make it up look less distorted. So the next time things aren't going your way, and you find yourself getting more and more upset, take a step back. you may find that the problem is not as big as it seemed, so you can face it instead of letting it fester. Use the power of the moment. Seneca said, "True happiness is enjoying the present without worrying about the future." We're always in a hurry, aren't we? We are always in a rush to finish school, get a job, fall in love, and control all the other things that society says make us healthy. In this endless rush, it is easy to miss the present moment. Stoics, on the other hand, recommend pausing and focusing on the present moment. In the digital age we live in, this can seem more difficult than ever. We are constantly bombarded with messages, news feeds are distracting, and worries about tomorrow often overshadow today's joys. But here's the thing. This pulling forward or pulling back often makes people angry. Or we are angry because things are not going as fast as we would like or because of something in the past. Focusing on the present moment saves time. It's like stopping a leak in a sinking ship. You no longer allow your energy to flow into things you cannot control, such as the past, which you cannot change, or the future, which you cannot know. Don't get me wrong. Planning is important, and it is good to learn from mistakes. But letting them control your present is like bringing problems from the future or sadness from the past into the present. So how can you show more? Start by turning off the noise of the outside world. Disable notifications that are not important. Take time to do nothing. Practice mindfulness or simply being fully present in what you are doing. Taste, don't just eat. Listen, don't just listen. Pay attention, touch, but also feel. Being in the present can also help you feel better when you're feeling down because it helps you focus on what you can do now. It facilitates understanding and gives a sense of peace. When you use the power of the present moment, you give anger less space and time to dwell. You can't control everything, but you can decide what to pay attention to. And when that light comes on at this moment, you will find that many of your problems will simply disappear into thin air. Check your wishes and process them. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Let's talk about anger's close relative, which is desire. You want something to happen, and when it doesn't, you're disappointed. It's that simple. The duality of desire was the Stoics' way of dealing with it. Stoicism divides desires into two groups, those that have a reason and those that do not. Some natural needs are food, shelter, and good health. Desires like fame, too much money, and other useless things are examples of vain desires. The key is to indulge your natural desires as much as they promote your well-being, but be very careful with your vain desires. We all want more. Is it more money, more likes, or more stuff? But have you ever noticed that these things leave you feeling empty rather than satisfied? It's like running on a track and hoping to reach a place that is just out of reach. Now, the Stoic way of dealing with this is not to give up all desires. This is neither realistic nor useful. The goal is to learn how to manage your wants and needs. Weigh them according to how important they really are. Before you get upset about not getting what you want, ask yourself why you want it. You will find that changing what you want will automatically make you less frustrated. Think about it. If you don't aim too big or too small, you're less likely to get frustrated and therefore disappointed. But how do you know which ones are worth going to? Good rule of thumb is to ask yourself if having it will actually make you happier and help you grow as a person. If you want social approval or short-term pleasure more than anything else, you might want to think again. Understanding the two sides of desire is like renewing your mind. It makes your goals clearer, helps you focus better, and improves your overall performance. And when you set goals, the less room for anger, the better. So go ahead and see what you want. When you get rid of them, it's much easier to move forward in life with purpose. Instead of getting stuck in pointless needs, think about bad things. Seneca asked, "How does complaining about them make matters worse?" Before you jump to conclusions, negative imaging is not about being a Debbie Downer. It's more about preparing your mind for eventual setbacks so you can handle them with grace and strength. Imagine everything goes wrong with your day. You spill your coffee, your computer crashes, and you miss the train. Let's take a break now. It hasn't happened yet, but if it does, you've already gone through it in your mind, so you'll be ready. This exercise is great in two ways. First, it helps you get over the initial shock of bad things. So if the Wi-Fi inevitably goes down 5 minutes before your big show, you don't have to worry. You adapt because you've already been there in your mind. Second, when you think about the bad things about things, you appreciate the good things even more. You begin to appreciate the little things, like coffee that doesn't flow or a train that arrives on time, because you know they won't always be there. Your happiness increases because you know how easily things can go differently. But you might ask, doesn't negative thinking make me nervous or negative? The straight answer is no. The goal is not to dwell on the bad, but to talk about it enough so that it doesn't bother you as much. Don't use this as a reason to always think the worst. That is not the point. It means making peace with uncertainty and preparing for the surprises that life can throw at you. Remember that it is not the scenario itself that causes stress and frustration, but how you see it. And the way you think about failures changes when you have encountered them in your mind. So give it a try. The next time you drink your morning coffee, take a few minutes to think about potential problems, and then let them go. You'll find that when life surprises you, you can handle it like a pro instead of freaking out like a newbie. I will give you a task. If you've made it this far, I'm sure you can keep going. Trust me, the road that changes you the most is at the end. Do you have the patience to stick with it? Show it. Stay with me until the end, and I promise you won't regret it. Love your destiny, or amor fati. Seneca said, "Fate guides the willing and drags the unwilling." If you're nodding now, the following Stoic idea of amor fati, or love of one's destiny, might really hit home for you. It is not enough to accept what happens to you. You have to accept it, love it, and know that everything you are going through is a lesson in disguise. Have you lost your job? Instead of being sad, think of it as an opportunity to change careers or learn something new. You are no longer together. Although it is difficult, it could be the universe's way of telling you that there is something better for you. This doesn't mean you shouldn't feel sad or disappointed, because those are normal human emotions. The Stoic way is to feel and acknowledge them, but then reverse the situation. Ask yourself, how will this make my life better? It aims to transform something that most people consider bad into something good. Amor fati is also liberating because it frees you from the resentment and hurt that can be so exhausting. If the default is try me, there is no room for why me. So the next time you face a problem, don't just accept it. Instead, embrace it, love your destiny, and your destiny will love you back. This does not mean to ignore the problems of life. Instead, find a way to dance in the rain instead of waiting for it to stop. Remember, you will die. Seneca said, "Let us prepare our minds as if we were to die tomorrow. Let us delay nothing. Let us balance the books of life every day." This might be a little sad, but stay with me. The term memento mori means remember you will die, but it doesn't mean it in a bad way. It is a strong reminder that we only have a limited amount of time, so we should live with integrity, passion, and focus on what really matters. The thought of death makes the uncertainty of life very clear. When you think about how short life is, your problems suddenly seem small. Will you waste your time worrying about a bad comment or a small backlash? Stoics say that understanding our mortality helps us deal with life's small problems and focus on what's really important. But there is much more here. Knowing that our time is limited makes us feel that we need to act quickly. It makes us want to move, change, grow, and decide today, not tomorrow. You can no longer put off important things, because you know that life does not give you many opportunities to finish things. How can you use memento mori without it making your life too sad? Use it as a reminder every day. When you're frustrated or stuck, ask yourself, how important is this moment in the big picture of my short life? Most of the time, you will find that what you are worried about is not important enough to lose your cool. The purpose of memento mori is not to scare people, but to make them act and be grateful. It is the tool to separate the gold from the sand or the noise around us that really matters. By reminding yourself that everything changes, you can reduce your anger and change your life for the better. Your days have more meaning, you act more purposefully, and you value your time more. It's the best way to keep you grounded while encouraging you to live your life to the fullest. Here are 7 Stoic ways to deal directly with anger. You can use them individually or mix and match to see what works best for you. Getting started is key. After all, journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And for you, the first step is to stop being disappointed. Isn't it powerful to know that anger, no matter how scary it seems, can be controlled, that you must not be a slave, but its master? By following these Stoic teachings, you will gain more than just knowledge. You will also gain wisdom that is rare and valuable in our fast-paced world. If you felt like you understood something or got a spark of energy from those ideas, don't keep it to yourself. Try to participate in this group as much as possible. Click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and give the video a thumbs up. Let's not just go through life, but dive into it with insatiable curiosity, accepting every challenge as an opportunity to grow and learn. Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, equips us not only to endure life's trials, but also to thrive and find resilience in the midst of them. Want to dive deeper into the principles of Stoicism and unlock the secrets of a fulfilling life? Discover more insights in our unique ebook, designed to give you practical strategies for developing inner peace and lasting happiness. Click the link in the saved comments to begin your journey to a more Stoic existence. Finally, I encourage you to share your thoughts with us. What Stoic practice resonates with you the most? Or maybe you've developed your own methods for navigating life's twists and turns. Your experiences and reflections are invaluable. They can light someone else's path and inspire them to face life's challenges with new courage. Remember that growing up is not a lonely journey. Let us use the power of Stoicism together to face the storms of life and become stronger and wiser day by day. You have the resilience within you to overcome any obstacle that comes your way. Believe in yourself, accept the teachings of the Stoics, and seize the opportunities that life offers. Until next time, stay steadfast and persistent in your pursuit of a meaningful and fulfilling life.